So I'm going to do something a little different today in beginning my talk. I'm going to start with a very short little prayer. So I'd like you all to take a deep breath. Oh God, help me to know the truth about myself, no matter how beautiful it is. Sit with that. Sit with knowing the truth about yourself, and that truth is that you are beautiful. Whether you know it or not, I know it for you. So once again, our topic this week is conflict, reconciliation, and transformation. That's quite a mouthful. I saw that and went, what? Wait, no. And my experience has been that I cannot see my way to transformation if I don't know the truth about myself, hence my little prayer. And I can't reconcile conflict if I don't know the truth about myself. This is distilled essential wisdom. We cannot transform and reconcile conflict unless we have boundaries. And we can't have boundaries unless we have self-worthiness. And we can't have self-worthiness unless we live our lives from a spiritual foundation that involves faith. And here's what I want to present to you. And this comes from the founder of our sister New Thought organization, Unity. He's the founder of Unity. And in his book, Dynamics for Living, he talks about faith. And he says faith is innate self-confidence. Here's how faith and self-confidence and self-worth connect. He says confidence is a form of faith. He explains that faith is not just a religious thing. He said, the idea that faith is something that has to do only with one's religious experience is incorrect. Faith is a faculty of the mind that finds its most perfect expression in spiritual nature. In order to bring out one's whole character, the beautiful truth of you guys, in order to bring out one's whole character, it should be developed in all its phases. That it is a power is self-evident. People who have faith in themselves achieve far more than those who do not believe in their own ability. We call this self-faith innate confidence. Now notice, Charles Fillmore didn't say that people who have faith in God achieve more and have more power. He said people who have faith in themselves have power and achieve more. This is confidence. Confidence in ourselves and in our abilities. So in order to raise our voices and set healthy boundaries and use conflict to transform ourselves, we have to have confidence in ourselves. Faith in ourselves. We have to, for example, trust in our own ability to make good decisions for ourselves. We also have to have clarity about what is ours to do and not do in this world. What is ours to be and not be in this world. We have to know our strengths and our weaknesses and honor them. But there's this God thing that's part of the equation. And we talk about it all the time. God, it's in our circle. It's the circle that surrounds all. So how do we get to this place where we can have faith in ourselves but still feel like God is a part of the equation? I agree, God is pretty important in the overall scheme of things. But here's the deal. We talk about this spiritual principle called oneness. God isn't something out there. God is something in here. We are one with God. God is one with us. So when we have faith in ourselves, we really have faith in God as well. But Ernest Holmes likes to put it like this. He says, we have the faith of God. Not faith in God. The faith of God. There's a difference there. That God that is within us, that's a part of us. We have the faith of God. And I think that's a beautiful way to look at it. And I don't know about you, but faith is this sort of nebulous thing. I know it when I have it, and I know it when I don't. Right? And when I don't, when I've lost my faith, and believe me, I've lost it. I've had times in my life where I've lost it. When I don't have faith, I feel icky. I don't know how beautiful I am. I don't trust in my ability to make good decisions for myself. I don't feel comfortable in the world. I don't feel safe in the world. Those are all symptoms of not having faith. I don't like being there. I do not like being there. And so when I get there, I know it, I can feel it, and I will pull out all the spiritual tools out of my toolbox to get my faith back. I'll go and I'll see the practitioner, and I'll pay for that session, and I'll let them poke at me, and I'll let them ask me pointed questions that make me think. I'll call the mentor. Last time I lost my faith, I called the mentor, and he said, "Karen, love it all." I'm like, okay, fine, love it all. One of the other tools I use is I pull out all my Ernest Holmes books and I start rereading them. You know, I have this routine with my Ernest Holmes books. When I read them first time through, I highlight them. And so when I lose my faith, I go back and I read the highlighted portions. And I go, oh yeah, Karen, you highlighted that. Remember that? This is important stuff here. And if I haven't read an Ernest Holmes book, I'll read it. Ernest Holmes is my go-to for restoring faith. There's a lot of other books too, but Ernest Holmes is the main one. So in order to reconcile conflict and get to that personal transformation as a result. By the way, reconciling conflict is the pathway to personal transformation. That's the ultimate goal here. When we get in conflict with people, it ain't about them. It is never, ever, ever about them. When we're upset about what's going on in the world, it's not about the world. It's about something inside of ourselves calling out and saying, hello, I'm here. I want to make a change. It's never about them, it's about us. So in order to get to that transformation, we have to reconcile the conflict. In order to reconcile the conflict, we have to set boundaries. And in order to set the boundaries, we have to have self-worth. And in order to have self-worth, we have to have faith. Somebody should write a song about that. Ken? Some of you have conflicts and you come to me with these conflicts and I say, love it all. Some of you have conflicts and you come to me with these conflicts and I say, have compassion. Some of you have conflicts and you come to me with these conflicts and I say, where's the love in all of this? I know that's not what you guys want to hear. I know you want me to say, yes, you're so good, you're so right. Yes. I never say that. I never ever say that. I say, where's the love? Find that love that's within you and go there and be that love. And in doing so, we allow ourselves to open up to this transformation. When we nurture thoughts of love and peace, we contribute to the collective consciousness of harmony. And we do that by beginning within ourselves. We nurture love and peace within ourselves. We turn our focus and our attention away from whatever it is out there that's going on. And believe me, I have to do this every single day. There's such a balance between being informed and turning my attention inward. There's such a balance between focusing on who and what and why I want to show up in the world as I show up. a being of peace and love. And yet, there's so much going on that I'm like, what? What? So yeah. You know, when we end our service today, we're going to sing a song called the Peace Song. We sing it every single Sunday. There are times when I get so tired of this song and I want to do something different. And then there are other times when I feel the joy. I feel the wisdom in the lyrics. And then there are the times when I recognize that it's a song that's pretty hard to sing because it's got a lot of highs and a lot of lows. And if you don't sing it in the right key, then it doesn't sound very good. But we sing this peace song in spite of all of that. And these are the words: let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Guys, that's what this philosophy is all about. That's what this teaching is all about. And there's a reason why we end every single service with this song. Because it is sending us out the door with an affirmation. There is peace on earth and it begins with me. That's what we walk out the door with at the end of every Sunday service. There is peace on earth and it begins with me. That could be a chant in a protest. Let there be peace on earth. There's peace on earth and it begins with me. That captures this philosophy perfectly. And it reminds us that while global peace is a significant challenge right now, it starts with our own personal inner transformation. We focus on self-awareness, our own awareness. We focus on our empathy and our forgiveness and our compassion, and we foster peace within ourselves. And then we go out into the world, and that inner peace radiates outward, and it inspires others to create a ripple effect of peace and harmony in the world. You know, in our Centers for Spiritual Living overall mission and vision and statements of all the stuff that we believe in, we have a saying that we are for a world that works for everyone. And you know, if you've ever done a deep dive in that statement, you might think that that's impossible to do. How the hell do we create a world that works for everyone? And yet it's part of our mission. Guess what? It begins inside each and every one of us. So we get to do that. We get to do that. So the call today, your invitation for this week, use any conflict that you might be experiencing. You know that kerfluffle that I mentioned earlier? Use that you might be experiencing as a pathway towards your own transformation. Take a look at it from a different perspective. Take a look at it from taking your focus away from them and into yourself. And look at what's going on inside of you with empathy and with loving compassion and with acceptance and joy. And love what is within yourself. And when you do this, you allow the God within you to speak with you and through you. And you find that beautiful part of you. And you know the truth about yourself. And the truth about yourself is that you are indeed very, very beautiful. Thank you very much, folks.